How is that framing any different than the KF saying, why aren't pro-Palestine protesters at Trump rallies instead of Kamala's? Great question, because Kamala Harris is a part of an administration that's currently doing a genocide. AOC also happens to be a part of the, not the administration, but the party, the Democratic Party, except AOC's opinions on that are dramatically different. I would probably be fucking door knocking right now if Kamala Harris called what Israel's doing a genocide. Anyway, we're moving on from that. We're going to talk about this video as well, because this person actually was talking about like the guy who chirped at me outside when I was leaving the DNC. But there's another point that she makes that I think is really good in this.
National Convention, Hassan Piker was heckled by a pro-Palestinian protester who called him a sellout.
Hey, love the hat. You know I was at the protest yesterday, right? I was at the protest 1 day ago, brother. Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? Get out of here? You think I'm your fucking enemy? You think I am against Palestinian emancipation? Honestly, get the fuck out of here. Fucking child. What do you mean, honestly, no? Why are you chirping at me then?
Don't call me a fucking child.
Because you're being a fucking child. Be an adult. Think clearly. Dumbass. Oh, he does. And I agree with him. And I agree with him. So why the fuck's he yelling at me? Hey, what's up? Sure.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
1 or 2 days later, I don't remember and I don't care to research, Hassan was kicked out of his DNC suite midstream for being too pro-Palestine and too critical of the Democratic Party. I feel like seeing that chain of events was a perfect example of how hard it is to be a leftist. And sometimes it's because of other leftists. Like, you expect to get shit on by the establishment, but when it's coming from your own side, that's when it's really frustrating. I get why people give up on this political identity. It's hard to keep up with because you are constantly running into sanctimonious assholes who loudly declare they're a better leftist than you.
I think that the only part of this that I like full blown agree with is like, yeah, we need to be more kind to other people that are, you know, ideologically on our side. And it's not even just me. I'm not even talking about myself. It's the same principle of like people yelling at fucking AOC. And I saw a tweet about this. And I know people are going to be like, Hassan, you're a fucking asshole. Classic Hassan defending AOC. He loves AOC, blah, 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 blah. But genuinely becoming they never do this for Trump person, but like, why not do this to Richie Torres or Latimer or Goldman or Kelly or any of the hundreds of them politicians with worse taste than AOC? It's true. Like, AOC is one of the like handful of politicians in general that has called Israel's actions genocidal. Okay. Like, yelling at AOC is ridiculous because the reality is, if the rest of the Democratic Party actually towed the same line as AOC did, we would be having a dramatically different conversation. Like, that's what I mean. Like, being critical of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the most valid thing, okay? She's a politician. She's not your friend. You are going to have disagreements. I certainly have my share of disagreements as well, okay? I mean, they did that to Pelosi and she just called them Chinese. Yeah, that was awesome. And also notice the people that did that to Pelosi were Code Pink. Some of the fucking bravest anti-war warriors of all time. They're more locked in, I think, than these younger protesters in general. My goat, Medea Benjamin. I'm sad that I did not see her at the DNC. How is that framing any different than the KF saying, why aren't pro-Palestine protesters at Trump rallies instead of Kamala's? Great question, because Kamala Harris is a part of an administration that's currently doing a genocide. AOC also happens to be a part of the, not the administration, but the party, the Democratic Party, except AOC's opinions on that are dramatically different. I would probably be fucking door knocking right now if Kamala Harris called what Israel's doing a genocide. I would literally not be on stream right now. I'd be in a fucking bus touring the goddamn nation, door knocking at swing states if Kamala Harris came out and said what Israel's doing is a fucking genocide. Dumb fuck. What do you mean? That's my point. That's what I'm saying. If AOC and the way that she communicates, which at times can be wishy-washy on the issue of Gaza, but if AOC and the way that she communicates was translated to the broader Democratic Party at the top of the ticket, I would literally be door knocking for Kamala Harris right now. I'd be putting on my fucking Harris Walls hat and going to every door in Pennsylvania and begging them to fucking go out and vote for the Harris Walls ticket. Hey, could I get you to lower the volume a bit? My neighbor at the end of the block is sleeping and can hear you. Maybe he'll hear the top of the hour ad break then. Unless you subscribe, in which case he'll continue hearing me yell. What does yelling at ultra Zionist Richie Torres do? AOC and progressive members will actually respond to pressure and be more voiceful compared to Dems. But the problem there is, it's like fucking Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and AOC. There's like a handful of Democrats that haven't been fucking pushed out by AIPAC that are more critical in the way that you want every Democrat to be. Okay? That's the point. What do you mean Richie Torres is not responsive? He's a fucking Democrat. What are we talking about? I want the rest of the Democratic Party to move on AOC's towards AOC's position. I think in the DNC you got a sliver of the constant back and forth of what she goes working with the Democratic Party, a little bit of it. Why do the Chabo Boys criticize her then? Because the Chabo Boys are probably right. Their fears or their anger and their resentment comes from people who portray themselves as progressive that might not be all that progressive when push comes to shove, when they're actually within proximity to power. And what you need to understand is I myself have those considerations and fears as well, but I operate still within the confines of the Democratic Party and not outside of it, because I see that there is still, like, no matter what, even if all of my advocacy leads to absolutely nothing, or it only marginally moves the needle in a positive direction, I'm still going to do it. Okay. I have a different analysis. I love the Chapo Boys. Everyone works in a different way. My approach obviously is still going to be within the confines of one of the two major parties at the end of the day. That's it. It's always a multi-prong attack. It's always going to work like that. Representative Moskowitz claimed even folks supported by AIPAC are for a ceasefire when we talked to him today at the DNC. But is what they support really a ceasefire? The current deal the U.S. is supporting is not actually a permanent ceasefire, does not withdraw the Israeli military from Gaza, and does not allow Palestinians to return to their homes in the northern parts of the Gaza Strip. Moskowitz has taken $185,000 from AIPAC and pro-Israel lobby groups.
Hello, how are you doing?
Didn't you just win your primary?
I won, but I ran against nobody.
Oh, well, that makes it easy to win.
So thank you.
Yeah. So we hear that the Democrats are working tirelessly for a ceasefire.
Well, I've been through a ceasefire for months now in exchange for the hostages. That's not been any change for months. I think the Democratic Party and even folks supported by AIPAC are for a ceasefire in exchange for hostages.
Yeah, but they're not for a permanent ceasefire. They're for a bridge.
No,
I'm talking about a bridge.
No, hold on. I'm for a permanent ceasefire in exchange for the hostages.
So what are you doing to pressure Israel to accept that?
Well, look, I think the administration and Democrats are pressuring Israel. Okay, there's tremendous pressure on Israel. What I can't do is pressure Sinwar, who's sitting in a bunker, okay, to take.
He's so Reddit, dude. He is the most Reddit, okay? No one has been this Reddit. Unbelievably Reddit guy.
The deal.
So Hamas agreed to the deal
That's
that was
not-
proposed.
that's not-
Absolutely
no,
true.
no, no,
At the end of the day.
Like, he's so Reddit. He's so Reddit that it's not even his like liberal brand of Zionism that frustrates me as much. It's the Redditing that does it for me. I can't get over it, dude. I can't get over the fact that there is literally a governor that is fucking. He's done some interesting things on the immigrant front too, which is crazy. But I mean, he is such a fucking neoliberal. Like, I can't even get over that front. Like, I can't even give him his fucking flowers because he is a moderator at r/neoliberal.
Hey, but I also just want to say that the best way to get a ceasefire is
It's Moskowitz. I'm confusing him with Jared Polis. Oh my God, it's Jared Moskowitz. I'm sorry. I'm doing an anti-Semitism. Yeah, Moskowitz is so much worse. Never mind. I did an anti-white racism.
The Qataris, the Egyptians, and the Jordanians have said Israel has accepted the framework of this ceasefire that we're talking about, and we're waiting on Sinwar. That was the news yesterday.
They have said that it's a different ceasefire than the one that was offered, and the one that was offered
Well, of
is
course,
the one
every
that Hamas agreed to.
every deal changes as this goes on, right? And so, like, this is the deal on the
This
table now.
is a bridge ceasefire.
All right. Anyway, this is besides the point. Oh, Medea Benjamin. No one will ever make me hate you, Medea. I fucking love old school anti-war protesters, some of which are cranks. It doesn't fucking matter to me. I love them. Okay. They're the best.